Do you ever wonder and pray and ask God, what is my purpose? What do you want me to do with the gifts that you've given me? What do you want me to do? Well, very recently, I've been asking that. How can I use my gifts to help this little church that we belong to? Well, as it turns out, before we came here, where our son is now a preacher, the church had waited many, many years. It took them 20 years to earn enough money through all kinds of things, raffles, fairs, garage sales, yard sales. They worked hard to earn enough money to build a fellowship center across the street from where the current church is. And this is what it is. This is what it looked like before they had gotten the driveway poured, or part of the driveway poured. And it's pretty much a blank slate. Well, I love gardening. In fact, my YouTube channel started out as a gardening channel and then kind of turned more into crafts. But I do love gardening. And so I asked a couple of the deacons about landscaping over there and said I'd be very interested in helping and giving some input, and they said, sure, go for it. Well, there wasn't really a committee, so I just started researching and sketching down some things and ended up presenting a plan to the deacons. And there are 4 phases in this plan. And ultimately, we needed to earn money to even do any of it. Therefore, we did an Easter fair. You might have watched that video a couple or so before this one. But this video is going to show you the steps. Not only did we reach our goal at the festival, which was to earn half the money we needed to at least be able to get started on the project, but we earned enough to pretty much cover the entire project. Can you say God is faithful? He certainly is. God is good all the time. So, here's the plan, my very primitive sketch of the building and the various plantings that we will be doing. There are 4 phases to this landscape plan, and the first one is the hardscape. We're going to build a retaining wall in the front of the area where we'll be planting. The purpose of that is twofold: to give it a more, aesthetically pleasing look, plus to increase the height a little bit off the driveway for the plantings to really show up. So Saturday, April 26th, our festival was on Saturday the 12th. Now exactly 2 weeks later, we're getting started. What we're figuring out here is on the end, we're kind of making a swooping curve with the retaining wall to accommodate 2 large green emerald green arborvitaes that get quite tall, about as tall as the building. They get 3 to 5 feet wide, so we need 2.5 feet all the way around the plant. So that's what we're kind of doing here, is measuring and then figuring out, okay, what are we going to do to curve back the stones to the sidewalks that are on both ends of the building. Well, we started on the right side because this is the hardest side and it drops off quite a bit. We were going to have to put some forms up with figured out pretty quickly to make footings for the stones to go upon. So that's what we're dealing with here. And this side was pretty tough to figure out, but the guys certainly did it. Another issue about the right side, it's not going to match the left side. The curves are not going to be the same. And the reason is because after the driveway is extended, they're going to be adding a sidewalk that connects back to the existing sidewalk that comes out of a door, because inside that little alcove area inside the building will be a little church office. So they're not going to look exactly the same. But I mean, it's like almost 80 feet across the front of this building. It really won't be noticeable. So, yet another little aspect of what we were all talking about and trying to figure out how to do it. Sometimes in projects you have little hiccups. But Randy, tell them what you told me about mistakes.
Don't make a mistake means you ain't doing nothing.
That's right. People that don't make a mistake are people that never do anything. When I was a little girl, I learned a valuable lesson about fixing things when you make mistakes. I was 8. I used to spend a week in the summertime with my grandparents. And that particular summer, my grandmother was going to teach me how to sew. My mom sews too, but my grandma wanted to initiate me. I'll never forget, I was making a very simple vest out of, like, I don't know, cotton type material. It was orange. Anyway, I had sewn one side seam and it was a little crooked, and my grandmother made me rip it out with a seam ripper. That took forever. I thought, I don't know if I want to learn to sew, is what I was thinking. Well, I fixed it, and then I did the second side seam, but when I pinned it, I had not pinned it real flat, and so there was a little hump there. I honestly think my grandmother didn't correct my pinning so that I would learn this lesson. Let the car go by here. Anyway, I sewed the side seam. And when I finished, she looked at it and said, well, honey, you're going to have to rip this part out too. I was like, why? Why do I have to rip it out? Isn't it good enough? Because it was straight. She's like, well, when we press this seam open, it's going to have a little ripple there. See? And she turned it over and showed me. And I was not wanting to rip it out. She very patiently said, Janet, if you don't take the time to correct your mistake now, when are you going to make the time to correct it? Because you'll never be happy with it because it's a mistake. Now's the time to fix it. Life lesson from my wonderful grandmother. So here's the mistake. You can kind of see that little pile of dirt. Well, there's a bunch of stones there on top of the dirt now, but that's where the big tall arborvitae is going to go, and it gets 3 feet to 5 feet wide. Well, where the form was before, which is now ripped out, the arborvitae was going to grow over the stone there, and it would never look right. We needed to have 2.5 feet all the way around this plant that's going to go in there. So now he has ripped up the old and making a new form to pour some more Quikrete in so that we can continue and finish the stone retaining wall. Randy has filled the form with some Quikrete. We were a tiny bit shy, so he used a little mortar too. And now you just add a little bit of water on top, let it soak in, add a little bit more water. And in a short time it will be hard so that we can finish our stone retaining wall. At least it's pleasant weather today. It's overcast. It's not supposed to rain. It looks like it might rain. But it's 10 degrees cooler today, 73, than it was Saturday. Bright sunshine. Close to 85 degrees. It was hot. So this is pleasant.
You are faithful. You are faithful, faithful through all things. You are with us, we are not alone. You remind us to hold on to hope. When we are lost in pain, we cry out your name, and you are faithful, faithful through all things. You are faithful, faithful through all things. Patience, child, rest a while. When you begin, no man can end. You are faithful, faithful through all things. You are faithful, faithful through all What we sow in tears, we'll reap in joy. Every season, we will see your glory. Oh, you are faithful, faithful through all things. You are faithful, faithful through all things. Faithful, faithful through all things.
Ta-da! Phase 1, hardscape completed.